The MVP, the greatest accomplished individual regular season award captured by many all-time great players. Legends who have won it multiple times often cement themselves in basketball hierarchy. Introduced in the 1955-56 season, timeless debates, arguments, and controversial decisions that happened decades ago still talked about to this day. The combination of team success, analytics like PER, win shares, and all the other advanced metrics now play a big factor into the winner. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Some of the very best players all time could have won the award more times, but after earning MVP many times, voters already know how established those players are and love to see someone else new. To draw up a back and forth discussion, in the 1980-81 season, the voting power redistributed to the media from first to fifth place, earning points with the most cumulative points wins. Looking beyond just numbers and wins, a strong narrative can cause the term voter fatigue thrown around when another star out of nowhere having a breakout season. The momentum throughout the year carries them big time. So this video, let's examine all the times where a multiple time MVP winner had a case winning the award. Given their established success, the award went to someone new, causing many to disagree. Starting with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1973, one of the biggest nubs, the 25-year-old phenom, arguably the best player since coming to the league after back-to-back MVPs in year 2 and 3, already won a title. Kareem, best player in the NBA by a mile, averaged over 30 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, finished first in his conference, 60 wins, but not as impressive as the previous 2 seasons, 66 and 63 wins. Viewed as a potential dynasty, Bob Danrich became the team's second best player, while Oscar aging and averages down below to 16, 5 and 8. Voting was done by the players. Looking at Cap's numbers combined should have been unanimous in 71. If we're being realistic, in 72, the Lakers NBA best 69 wins, West and Chamberlain split the votes, but Kareem still managed with more first place votes than both combined. Boston 73, 68 wins, while Collins averaged 10 full points less than Jabbar, shot just 45%. Jabbar's win shares nearly doubled, while third place Tiny Archibald even got more first place votes than Kareem, but Kansas City just 36 and 46 didn't even make the playoffs. The narrative for Archibald being the first player to lead the league in scoring and assists at the same time, while Collins on the other hand had a way better supporting cast than Kareem. Fifth for MVP, superstar teammate John Havlicek averaged over 24, 7 and 7, who you could argue was Boston's best player. JoJo White 25 and 6, Paul Silas, Don Chaney, and Don Nelson over double digits, the absolute definition of voter fatigue. The player is definitely sick of Jabbar winning again and again, but he was absolutely 100% deserving. Further proof that Kareem was robbed 1000% is an absolute travesty. Kareem made first team as a center, and the MVP Collins made second team, while Collins' teammate Havlicek ended up on first team. Since All-NBA was voted by the media, but MVP voting by the players, Collins joined former Celtic legend Bill Russell as the only 2 players to win MVP while not making first team. A case for Larry Bird 1987 actual winner Magic Johnson. After being the best player in the game for several years, 3 straight most valuable player awards, nobody even came close from 84 to 86. Larry Legend seen as the better player over Magic since his rival still hasn't won an MVP. Bird 3 years older than Johnson. After finishing second place 3 times followed by 3 first place, Bird ended up third behind Magic and Michael. Jordan monster scoring numbers on a bad team, both record just 40 and 42. Bird after 63, 62, and 67 wins, Celtics just 59 wins, while Magic's Lakers a league best 65 wins. The numbers very similar, both their teams stacked. Bird in 85 severely injured his back while shuffling his driveway, pain that bothered him rest of his career. The start of a very slow Celtics demise. Second pick Limbias died tragically days after getting selected. Boston slow, old and banged up. 6-man Bill Walton didn't play till March, 10 total ineffective games. Role player Scott Wedman only 6 games his last season after providing 8 points a game in '86. Guys like Darren Day, Greg Kite, and Sam Vincent forced to play big minutes, Parrish and DJ 33 and 32 respectively. Robert played long stretches on a sprained ankle. MacLeod refused to rest with a severe foot injury. Given how banged up everyone was, in no way am I saying Bird should have won MVP over Magic. Although Magic earned the award in my opinion, the fact that it wasn't even close given the easier competition from the West, 4 total 50-win teams in Bird's conference, only 2 for Magic's. Boston swept Jordan round 1, had to play the physical Bucks and Pistons before the finals, each 7 games. Showtime extremely weak competition in the West, teams with 37, 42, and 39 regular season wins to get to the finals. Bird and the Celtics clearly out of gas during the title games. In my opinion, given the load Larry had to carry, the '87 MVP race could have been closer. On to the Jordan era, 1993 winner Charles Barkley, the Phoenix Suns, best record in the league, 62 wins, while Jordan, the back-to-back winner, clear-cut best player in the game by a mile. Sir Charles had a strong case 3 years before, along with Jordan, the year Magic won his 3rd MVP. The narrative all season, Chuck's first season in the Valley, made the team title contenders after just 35 and 44 wins with Philly the previous 2 seasons. Jordan's full 61 wins in 91, 67, 92 fell down to just 57. Not a good look, but given the numbers, Barkley 26, 12 and 5, Jordan nearly 33, 7 and 6 and 3 steals, still shot nearly 50%, much better on D than Charles, and even turned the ball over less. Ball's 3rd best record in the league. Michael also got blamed for Pippen and Horace Grant having mediocre regular seasons. Both weren't playing to expectations. Paxson and Cartwright missed tons of games, twilight of their careers. In my opinion, with a little bit of voter fatigue, Barkley did deserve the '93 MVP. While of course Jordan got the last laugh in the finals, this race could have easily been closer. 1997 winner Karl Malone over Michael Jordan, the biggest MVP snub of all time. Jordan 69 wins, Malone 64, not even debatable. Both had excellent seasons because the Jazz were the bigger surprise after being counted out, and the Bulls 3 less wins than their 72 win year. Jordan's numbers around 36 and 4, Malone 27, 10 and 4. Imagine the best player in the game, 69 wins, puts up nearly 30 a game, still doesn't win the MVP. After easily winning in '96, everybody of course knew it was likely Jordan to win all the awards again. Towards the end of the season, SI writer Jackie McMullen wrote a piece, Malone underrated in the MVP race. That swung the narrative, a 9-game improvement from the Jazz. If Utah won more games in '97 than the Bulls, then Malone would have had a real case. After being overshadowed by MJ, Karl 2nd place and scoring 5 times, all behind Michael. For the face of the league, having won the award 3 times already in the '90s. In addition to the absurdity, Rodman missed 27 games, Kukoc 25 and Longley 23. The fact that MJ still kept Chicago to 69 wins shows the greatness of Jordan. Of course, got the last laugh as said in The Last Dance.
What's the biggest motivating factor going into that series for you?
Karl Malone get MVP.
Absolutely dominated Malone and the Jazz in the finals, leaving no doubt who the very best player was.
I'm not saying he wasn't deserving of it. All I'm saying is that fueled the fire in me and say, okay, you think he's the MVP? Okay, fine, no problem.
Can't think of a bigger way to define MVP voter fatigue. If voter fatigue was a real book, Malone over Jordan would have been in the cover. 2001, Allen Iverson won this MVP award, but there was a slight argument for Shaq. Despite having only 1 MVP, hard to fully call the 01 season voter fatigue, but after winning a title and a vote short of being the first unanimous MVP, still angry 20 plus years later, the one voter against Shaq voted for AI because Shaq also had Kobe. That kind of disqualifies O'Neal. While Bryant missed 14 games, was a top 5 player in the league, AI's second leading scorer, Mutombo, a dozen points. Shaq does have the better advanced numbers, but the Lakers 11 fewer wins than the previous year, Philly 7 more wins. O'Neal also slacked the first half of the season, making just 41% of his free throws pre-All-Star break. up to nearly 62% the following 35 games, won his last 8 regular season games, averaging 34-13 those games, tied for the second best record in the league with Iverson's Sixers, Duncan Spurs 58 wins number 1. Of course, Shaq wasn't in the best shape to start the season. If O'Neal actually tried and didn't slack off to start the year and LA won 60 plus, he easily would have won the MVP, but well deserved by Iverson. I thought O'Neal definitely should have had more than 7 first place votes. Steve Nash 2007, former teammate Nowitzki won it. After back-to-back MVPs, the debate between him and Dirk continued to heat up. 67 and 61 games won. Many were still shocked how Nash even won his 2 MVPs. At the time, Phoenix with a healthy Amari kept winning. Nash even more efficient than his previous 2 seasons. Dirk had a 50-40-90 shooting year. Nash missed it by 1/10 of a free throw. Phoenix had a 15-game and a 17-game win streak, nearly tied the Lakers' 33 wins. If it wasn't for the Wizards' overtime loss in December, the MVP still up for grabs. March 14th, a classic double overtime showdown game on ESPN. Nash a game-tying 3, a masterful 32, 8 and 16 game, edged out Nowitzki's 30, 16 and 6 performance. After Phoenix won, some truly believed Nash was on his way, having the momentum to a three-peat. Even drew some Bird comparisons as the last player to win the award 3 straight times. If advanced stats were used more heavily back then, Dirk likely would have won the MVP over Nash the previous year, and Nash to win it in 07. Dallas 3-1 without Dirk on the season, while Phoenix just 2-6 without Nash, giving Nash's first 2 MVPs already extremely controversial. If Shaq and Kobe won those MVPs instead, I do believe the 07 race between Dirk and Nash would have been a lot closer. LeBron James 2011, super hated, the biggest villain taking his talents to South Beach. Once again, the award doesn't necessarily go to the best player, while James the better numbers overalls. Miami viewed potentially as a 70-win team, many picked them to win 60 plus, while the Bulls a 21-game improvement out of nowhere. James's 2011 case is not as controversial as what the big LeBron fans make it out to be. Rose earned 113 of 120 first place votes. Heck, Dwight Howard finished second place, also had a strong case given his weak supporting cast. Although Cleveland a mess and the second worst record in the league after LeBron left, James actually won 66 and 61 games on a weaker supporting cast the previous 2 seasons. While having 2 All-Stars with Miami and still winning fewer games, Joakim Noah missed 34 games with Chicago, Boozer 23, starting 2 guard Keith Bogans averaged 4.4 points, and Rose still led that squad to 62 wins. Miami's Wade, James and Bosh each played between 76 to 79 games. James's own teammate Bosh late February even said Rose was the MVP. Even LeBron himself said weeks before the regular season ended, Rose deserved to be most valuable player. James only had the stats argument and proved to be better in their postseason matchups. Sure, the race could have been a little closer, but 2011 was absolutely Rose's MVP. James Harden 2019. The Beard was the one blaming media narrative for not winning MVP, despite insane averages of 36, 6 and 7. Averaged the most points since 87 MJ, 32 straight 30 plus point games, while Giannis the best player on the best regular season team, 60 wins. While the two were deserving, Harden picked up steam from late December. Houston 53 wins, the 4 seed, CP3 missing 24 games, Giannis himself missed 10 games, while Milwaukee just 4-6 without him. Houston lost both games to the Bucks, started a lackluster 11 and 14 overall. If they win 2 more games and finish with the 2nd seed instead of 4th, I do believe some would have shifted their votes to Harden, but Giannis also 2nd place in DPOY. The Greek Freak deserved it in my opinion. 3 years later, as the 2022 MVP race still in the mix, with just 3 more weeks left in the regular season, there's a huge narrative shifting to Embiid with seedings and positions yet to be determined. In my opinion, the award's still up for grabs, with Jokic 1, Giannis 2, and Embiid 3. But since Joker and Greek Freak already won the award, and if Philly gets the number 1 seed in the East, Embiid can win it. And voters aren't as excited about Giannis, given he already won the award twice, while Jokic by far has the advanced numbers. Without his 2nd and 3rd best players, if Nuggets fall into the play-in, there's a chance he might not repeat and Joel might end up getting it. Of all the stars who should have won the MVP but didn't due to voter fatigue on this list, the only absolute case was Kareem Jabbar in 73 over Dave Cowens and Jordan's 97 over Malone. All the other MVPs were justified, although the counterparts had a case as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Which other players did you believe should have won another MVP but didn't because people were sick and tired of voting for them again? Let me know in the comments below. Once again, thanks so much for watching. I love all of you. See you next time.